Hello there all my lovely jewelry makers, I'm Christina of CSLdesigns and today I'm trying out a new subscription box that I haven't tried before. So Dollar Bead Box contacted me and asked if I was interested in giving it a go. So of course I said yes because I have heard a lot of good things about it and I was curious to see what it's like in real life. And then I thought all we could do is open it together so we can get first impressions. So I have the box here, I've not had a sneak peek or anything at all, there's still the tape on there so I haven't opened it because I thought I'll give a proper first impressions of it. So let's get the scissors ready and we can cut into the tape. Now, like I said, I have heard and seen a bit about this before, and I have been curious. I did previously try out a different subscription box, which was project-based, which was nice, but I was a little bit more curious about ones where you basically just get materials. So let's dig into it here. Open it up, and then we have some paperwork, and then I think there's also it's a bead dollar bag, a dollar bead bag, and then the box. So I'm thinking just do them a little bit separately because I think it's two different things. So yeah, it looks like we got the bag there, and there's just a bit of paperwork I think with the contents, both with the bag and the box. I think I'll just leave that. I want to kind of just look at things first and see what things appear to be like without having really read about it. So this is the bag, and it says already here what's in it. Let's just open up. I'm quite curious here. There's some strands of beads, really small beads. I do really love small beads. Some wire work and macrame as well I like to use. These look interesting. I'll just remove this paper. So there's 8 strands in total. So we have 3mm strands. There's 4 of them. Let's see if we can probably sort them out. The smallest ones. It's butterscotch, crystal electric yellow and green, opaque turquoise blue zircon, and seafoam opal AB. So that's what the paper is like there. The small ones and then the larger ones I think. So that's definitely quite interesting. And then we have 4mm strands as well. So there's 3mm strands and 4mm strands. Let me just bring you a little bit closer so we can have a little bit of a better look, because there's quite a lot of sparkle going on in some of them as well. And I think all of them seem like they're faceted more or less. So they're all check fire polished beads. And they're different colours, obviously. Some of them got AB coating and some of them are even multicolored. That's quite nice. That seems to be almost purple and green mixed, which I really love that combination, so I'm all for that. And like I said, I love small beads, so I can definitely see using these. But basically you just get materials in this, which I really do like, so you can just use these however you want to. And then also the way it works is that if you like anything specifically from what you get, you can then go on the website and reorder it, that specifically, for I think pretty cheap, which is also quite an interesting concept I think. So yeah, that's the actual bag. And then let's get back to the box. Because obviously you kind of expect the box, probably there's a little bit more in it. So we have some tissue or some different things possibly. So the bag seems to be probably just strands of beads. And then you know what, let me take this out actually. Have a bit of a better look. So let's have a look at what we have. I might just remove all this from the tissue. It's a little bit noisy. And I think we just need to zoom out a little bit again to kind of fit it all in. So yeah, you get a mix of things in the box. So we do get some strands. Getting some different kinds and sizes of beads here. And strands and different finishes and that, and then some individual bags with what looks different things, like again some more special beads, some charms by the looks of it, other shapes and kinds of beads. They look interesting, and they're beads as well, I'm guessing. Little elephants. Just gotta zoom in on them again because that's actually really cute, and it's purple as well, my favourite colour. Pretty much purple and silver more or less, but yes, they are beads. You have a hole going through there. That could be quite cute, something a bit different. I don't usually tend to work with beads like this, not for any specific reason really, it's just, for some reason I tend to stick mostly with rounds. Probably just easiest, and everyone can access that, but they are quite cute then. And then we have some other charms. A bit of a, not really sure what this is. Just some kind of metal feature maybe. Yeah, seems like it. This could really be used for anything. You can either use it in something else, so attach beads to it, or use it as a base, I'm thinking. Either combine it with wire work, or I'm even thinking maybe micro macrame, so use the kind of outer frame or something to attach your cords, and then be able to make something around it and kind of frame it in a way with some micro macrame design. I think that could be kind of interesting, because you can obviously attach your cords when doing micro macrame to anything really, so that's a bit of a different piece. More beads. Oh, a little Chinese charm. I've always had a weakness for Chinese writing and signs, and let me open these as well. They look a little bit matte by the looks of it. Yeah, they're definitely matte and kind of rondelles really. So I think I'll just have a little look at the paper again, see more detail what things actually are. So let's see, we have strands here. So about the strands, we got 6mm check glass 2-hole squares, so I'm guessing that's these here. They got 2 holes in them. Or is it these? Yeah, it's these actually. It's like a carnelian, quite a different colour. And we have 5mm check glass lemon. That'd be these, I'm thinking. Cyan or amethyst. That's probably the amethyst then. Then check glass tubular ovals, 6x8mm. Aqua opal or sapphire opal. So I'm guessing that's these are opal here, or oval rather. Nice blue that, and kind of a bit marbled as well. And then we have 8mm check fire polish, which I'm guessing are these. Nice sparkle from the faceting, but also like an AB coating on some of it. 9mm check glass tubular square. So I'm guessing that's these ones here. They're quite different. I don't really think I've ever worked with like flat square beads, but even then it looks like they only have, yeah, they have a hole in the middle. Yeah, in the middle. So it's just really of how they would be used, because obviously you kind of want them secure a little bit because they could swivel around, but it'd be quite kind of interesting. That's what I like about the thought of something like this as well, is you'll likely get something you don't normally work with or you haven't tried before. For instance, those beads I think are really cute, but it's not something I've really used before. These square ones I've never used before, but it could be interesting to kind of put you out of your box a little bit and just try something different and see what you can come up with. And then what we have as well, additional items, check glass elephants, 20mm, yeah, check glass, so the glass beads. I actually think they're really cute, perfect colour for me as well. Faceted crystal round, I'm thinking that was the one I saw here, 12mm. Nice sparkly as well with the faceting. Pewter shiny simple charm, yeah. You can always use charms really, can't you? Pewter turtle charm, yep. Hat and toggle. Where these are kind of antique silver, and then we have like an antique copper with that one. It's quite cute, both the hat and the key. Swarovski twist bead. That's that one. Oh, it's Swarovski. Interesting. Light rose, yeah. Again, I've not worked with a bead exactly like this before, but It's definitely quite interesting, and there's no reason why it can't work for something. Check glass table cup. Brown opal with travertine. That must be this one then. It's very unusual actually. Let me just get it out. The shape is very unusual, I'm assuming. I'm not sure, is it a hole in the middle? Oh no, I see it now. There's a hole there. To actually go in kind of in between two of the legs. Probably can't see, well let me just zoom in. So it has that shape, but then you have the hole in between two legs and then coming out in the middle of one of them. It's quite unusual, that. I've never really seen a shape like that before in a bead, I think, and then the hole going through like that. I actually thought the hole was in the middle there, straight down, but I was kind of not seeing any air going through, but that's because that's not where the hole is. That's quite interesting, very different. Never worked with a bead like that before. Then we have just a few left. Check glass bicone, guessing that's these. 12 pieces, they are bicone shaped. So the check glass beads, quite a different colour and finish for me as well. This is not something I'd normally go for, but it's definitely interesting. Actually, they kind of work with that bead, I think, the actual colours. Again, a bit tribal feel, I feel. Then we have check glass rondelles, which were these ones that I got out. And then brass stamped butterfly, which was the butterfly there. The gold one. So we actually have a pretty nice range in metal finishes and colours. So two of those kind of antique silver and then that antique copper, but then a bright gold. So there's a bit for everything really. So that's then the box. So obviously with the bag, you just get some strands there. In this case, some nice small size beads, which I do really like, and having a nice selection of them. You can both do kind of beading, just general beading, but also, like I said, stuff like micro macrame or even add it into wire work and that. Or kumihimo as well for that matter. Brilliant with small beads. And then the actual box, we have some strands, some different kinds of beads. Like I said, some that I've never tried before, but quite interesting ones. And then obviously all these little bags with different charms and other beads and metal parts in them. So that's quite interesting. So I definitely really like the thought of just getting materials in a subscription box like this, instead of it has to be project based. Obviously if you get a project based one, you can easily just use it for whatever you want to, but it kind of defeats the purpose a little bit because you get all the instructions as well. Whereas here you literally just get materials that you can do what you want with, and also you seem to probably get things that you don't normally buy yourself or you haven't tried before, at least in my case here. Obviously it might not be the case for everyone, but it is for me. So obviously small beads and rounds, that's quite common, but things like these other shapes and that, and just these individual bags as well in the box, it's quite interesting. It's not something I'll probably ever have thought of myself to get, but partly because I probably wouldn't know what to do with it really off the top of my head, but getting it, it can then kind of open up to possibilities and you can experiment a little bit more. So I do think that's quite interesting. Now obviously the question is now just what to do with it. So it's been a few days since I opened the box, because what I thought I would do was go away and play around with the beads a bit and see what I could come up with. So I ended up picking my favourite things and also some of the things that I haven't worked with before, just to see what maybe I could create from it all. Now I haven't used all these strands, but I just thought I wanted to kind of have a little bit to choose between and see what ideas popped into my head. So after looking through the box and the bag, the very first thing that jumped out at me was these beads here. There's one left. And so that's then what I decided to start with, just to kind of get it out of the bag. That's the one I got left. So those little elephant beads that are really cute. Now because it was a pair, the obvious thing to do was earrings, and I was tempted to do that, but I really like those beads and I wanted to kind of make something I could wear myself because I think it's really cute. And even though I do have, I think, 3 holes in one ear and then 2 in another, for some reason I don't really wear earrings anymore. So what I wanted to do was make something that I could kind of wear without it being earrings and be able to wear these cute little beads. So what I ended up making was actually a ring, because a ring is something I can't really go outside my home without. I just feel weird not wearing one when we go out. So I thought that would be the perfect thing, and also I could wear it on my finger. I'll just take the other one off here and always kind of have it close, and because I think it's really cute as well. So that's the ring, just a cute and quick little ring that I did, but you have that elephant kind of stands out. So they're really cute beads, them, I think. Definitely earrings would be perfect as well though for the pair. So once I then made that ring, the next beads that jumped out at me were these ones here. So they're little, pretty sure they were 3mm ones, and it's kind of green and dark blue, but also AB coating combined and faceted. I really like that combination, so I felt like I needed to do something with that. Now what I ended up doing was actually another ring, kind of like the one I was just wearing. So I used them to make another version of this ring here. So a braided one, and I really like how those beads stand out there from the braid. I really like that color combination. So I used those beads for one of those, and they lasted really nicely. After that, the beads that then caught my interest were these blue kind of flat oval ones, a little bit marbled effect on them, and also then the kind of clear 4mm ones. Now my first thought when I saw these in the box was trying to make flowers of some sort with them, and that's also what I've ended up doing. So I used these two beads here to actually make a hair comb. So it looks like this. You can see I used the blue ones to make the flowers, but then I used the clear ones here, or whitish ones, to go in between, but also for the very center of the flower, and then ended up with this kind of pretty cute hair comb, I think. So they work really well for that, and again I just used wire to create that one. And then next I thought I wanted to try and test myself a bit with some of the beads that I hadn't used before. So I took these ones out and kind of sat a little bit thinking what I could do with them. I ended up choosing the green ones here, the larger ones that have one hole, whereas those orange ones have the two holes. I wasn't quite sure yet what to do with them. But then I chose these green ones, and I thought I wanted to try and do some wire with them, because I think these kinds of beads generally tend to be used for beading. And I thought I wanted to try and do something a little bit different. So I did some wire work, used these here, and I thought copper would go best, make it a little bit earthy. So I ended up making this bracelet here. So I kind of combined those beads with roses going all the way around, and kind of just adding a bit of decoration on those beads as well. Just experimenting with something a little bit different, I think, because again I never used those beads before, so this is what I came up with. Just something, a quick and easy thing I tried out with these beads. And I really do like how actually the colour of the beads combined with the copper works really well together, I think. And then the final beads that I chose to use were the other 3mm rounds there, and the faceted ones, light blue, and also that AB coating really adds a lovely sparkle. I think it's a lovely colour, that nice and delicate, but at the same time obviously not too plain. So what I wanted to do with them was actually I wanted to try some wire kumihimo, because most of when I've done wire kumihimo I've used gemstone beads or metal spacer beads, and I'm pretty sure I haven't actually tried to use glass beads, at least not very much. So I wanted to just test them out and see how they would hold up, because obviously it's wire and it's in the braiding. So I just wanted to see if the beads would actually hold, or they would maybe get damaged or break a little bit. So I ended up using these to make a pair of earrings and then incorporate them into the braid, and it actually worked really well. So they held up nicely. Again, I think this color bead goes really well with the copper, so I love that combination. And also because of the AB coating, they just have the extra little sparkle. So I just made a pair of earrings here with them. So these were then the pieces I ended up with after playing around with all these beads from the dollar bead box a little bit. So as you can see, I've not used most of these beads. There's still loads left, and there's also still things left in the box. Yet so far I've ended up with 5 pieces of jewelry, so I think it's pretty good. And it's just using the things from the box. Obviously I've added findings and the wire myself, but bead wise it's only the ones from the box. So if you take into account what I have left here and also what's left in the box, you can get quite a few pieces of jewelry out of this, which I think is really great. And I kind of like that freedom of just having the materials and being able to do what you want with them, and also maybe getting some things you haven't tried before to help push yourself a little bit to try something new. For instance, like I said, this bracelet here, I used the beads that I've never used before, and I think it's an okay, cute result I get out of it. It maybe makes me want to try a little bit more of using other beads that I haven't used before. And also the hair comb here. First of all, I've never actually done a hair comb before, this is my first one, but I thought making flowers with those blue beads would be perfect. And then I thought, why not put them on a hair comb and kind of get a cute result for like a hair feature as well. So I end up, actually I quite like this. And also I have made flowers with beads before, but not quite this kind. So again, that was something a bit new to try. And then also this ring that I made using those 2 color beads. I really like those beads, so I also made this to fit myself so I can wear it, because I would definitely wear this color combination. But other than that, that's basically me opening the dollar bead box and bag, first impressions, and then going away a little bit, playing around with some of the materials and see what I could come up with. Now I will put the information about this in the description box below the video in case you're interested in having a look at it yourself. So I just want to say thank you to Dollar Beadbox for sending me this to give it a try. I really appreciate it, and it was nice to try some new things that I haven't worked with before. So otherwise, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching it, and I'll see you in the next one.